how would you like to feel more confident? Think that would make a difference? I would submit to you that confidence is at the root of what people don't do. And I bring that up in that fashion because that's more often where it comes out, because so many people have ideas for what they'd like to do and what they'd like to pursue, or where they'd like to, and envision a goal they'd like to accomplish, and they never take a step because they don't have enough confidence. Now, some people would say, no, it's because they have fear. Yeah, exactly. That's the opposite, right? I mean, having confidence, the more confidence you have, the less fear you have. That's a pretty easy equation, right? So you can cultivate that because it's pretty simple to cultivate it. It's a compilation of things. And I'm someone with very low natural self-belief and self-esteem. Matter of fact, my life was ruled by it not quite the first half now, because I started really on the journey to change things when I was 28, and I'll be 59 here in a few months. So I've been on this journey much longer than I was stuck in that other journey. So there's a couple different pieces. I talk about this in the Three Circles Living book. So first piece is the health piece, the actual physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual component of self-care in you. How does that affect your confidence? Well, first of all, there's a significant correlation between energy and confidence, right? I mean, if you have energy, right? If you have energy, you feel up. If you feel up, you see things differently. That's pretty easy, right? That can be physical and emotional, right? If it's both, all the better. And so if you're taking care of yourself physically, there's another component to that, is you're telling yourself you're worth taking care of, but then you're reaping the benefits of that. Clearer thinking, which is another component, but having higher emotional energy and higher physical energy allows you to be more creative and more engaged. And when you're more creative and more engaged, that can be the difference. So if you think about fatigue, what's the saying? Fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? If you're fatigued, it's way harder to feel confident because that takes energy. It's like, I don't know if I can do that, right? Because you just don't feel good. So taking care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, self-care is a big part, right? Because that has an attitude impact. But the other impact comes from skills. And the cool thing about skills is skills are a direct correlation. So even if you feel crappy because you haven't taken care of yourself, you're going to know, right? If you're confident about doing something, if you're skilled at it, right? If you're skilled at something, you believe you can do it. Now, you might not feel like you can do it right now if you're not feeling good physically, but you know intellectually that you can. Skills they're pretty simple, right? I mean, you decide what skills you want to develop and you work at those. That's how you develop a skill. It's not rocket science, right? I mean, it's not. Now, granted, the older you get, the less patient you are with the learning curve. You just got to get over that, right? You got to be real that not getting patient with the learning curve is not going to get you very far in life, because you're going to start and stop in everything, and you're not going to become proficient at anything you don't already know how to do. Boy, what a boring life that would be, right? I mean, life is about learning, right? It's about growing and developing. And so you want to think about what skills you would need, and then you just systematically acquire them by practice, right? Study, practice, study, practice, study, practice. Not all of one, right? Not all study and no practice, not all practice and no study. You do them together, and that's how you really build a skill. That's how you can make adjustments faster and hone the learning. And so, yeah, obviously, if you're just doing, you're going to get pretty good at something, but it's going to take a lot longer than if you were doing it, studying it while you're doing it, so that you can understand why certain things are happening and why things are happening, good or bad, in that process. And then the other part is, when you take care of yourself physically, you show up better in your relationships. And how does that affect your confidence? Well, it gives you a better sense of security, right? There is no security in things. There is no security in money. There is no security outside of you, right? The only security you're ever going to have on this planet is going to come in here, right? That's it. Nothing else is going to be, let's face it. While I'm doing this, something can happen and I can drop over and it's over, right? I mean, so how secure is that, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you have acquired. You can't take it with you. You're not secure in that. Something can happen. So security is a feeling that you can have by attending to the things that matter most, right? So if you've got a great relationship with the people you love, and you've taken care of yourself physically, you've got a really strong sense of security. That's a great rock solid foundation to take a step towards something. So that affects your attitude and your confidence, right? In both directions, right? Because heck, you already have so much, right? If you think about that, if you got your health and you have love, you got a lot, right? You got a lot. Your life is pretty damn good. And so you take that piece, right? Take that piece, health, relationships, work on your skills, you'll grow your confidence. It's just a natural. And when you grow your confidence, that will start to show up in not only better results in the things that you do, but you will start to see new things to do, because a lot of the fear that you've experienced in your past will go away. So I strongly suggest that you get the Three Circles Living book if you have not already. It will help you so much. And if you got a question for me, feel free to email me and I will respond. I respond personally to every interaction I have at this point. All right. Thanks for being here. Take care.